Hey everyone, welcome to a presentation of Let's Get Infinite. This is going to be a vulnerable position for me. I know Tanya's going to have a lot to contribute to this conversation. She has no idea what I'm about to say, folks. I just said, can you please just hit record? And she said, okay. So here I am. It's March the 5th. On December 28th of 2023, I submitted my notice to quit my job, and I said that it was because I wanted to follow my heart. And while that's true, there's other stuff that's going on in the background for me that I haven't been really willing to talk about yet. And since my cousin's memorial celebration of life that happened on Saturday, I've been like checking in at a different layer and a different level. And I've been telling myself that I need to be strong,
Mm.
that I need to have my shit together, that I need to be like not anxious, that I need to be not scared, that I need to not feel the human experience. And because if I'm teaching this stuff, then how can I teach you if I'm not actually living it and modeling it? And here's the truth is that sometimes I'm not strong. And sometimes I am sad.
Mhm.
Sometimes I am scared. And right now, I'm just gonna honor those feelings and and claim the fact that I'm human. See?
Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, when you cry, it makes me cry. Well, actually, I feel emotionally connected to you. So thank you for your vulnerability. I think it's very brave to show that on video. Certainly something that's recorded and then put out into the world because who knows who's gonna watch. But how many can relate to the fact that sometimes we don't feel 100%? And sometimes there's this expectation that we come into the world going, everything's wonderful and everything's great and everything's always so good. When that isn't true for
Yeah.
most people, most of the time. And yet here we are sometimes feeling like we need to pretend or put forward our best face forward. And all of those messages that we receive about, you better have your crap together and don't make a fool of yourself. And what do you mean you're going to cry on video? Well, that's too vulnerable. You can't do that's very unprofessional. You can't do that, right? All the messages that have come down through all of the generations for all of the years saying you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do this.
And you
And here we are
shouldn't.
doing it, right? So I think kudos to you for that, my friend. And that sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning when my eyes pop open and I'm like, why am I feeling scared?
Mhm.
Why is that fear so present? Even though I've got all these really wonderful things to feel excited about, there's that overarching, oh my God, I can hardly breathe. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And as Mike Dooley says, we
The
get stuff
curse.
in cursed house, right? So and
It is the cursed house. It
they
really
are.
is.
But I think it's so important to honor how we feel in every moment, get in tune with that too, right? Because quite often I can go numb to some of the
Mhm.
ways that I'm actually feeling and start to feel like I have to pretend my way through things. And I too was at that same memorial you were attending, and that's the second one in the last month, plus our death doula training that has certainly brought, and my aunt and her final days that she's living now, just the reality of what does this life mean? And what are people going to say when I'm gone? And who's going to gather? And what's the impact that we're having? And I think everybody wants to feel important and like their message or what they have to say or contribute is important. And I'm here to say, yes, it is.
You
You're
know
a
what?
really big deal no matter what anything else you believe in your life. You are a big deal. And what you have to say, I will always remember September of 2023 when I heard Mike Dooley say, it is the same message or a similar message, but the people that need to hear it in your voice. They need to hear it through your message, you sharing what it is that you have to share. And I thought, I can do that. I know
Yeah.
that I'm here to impact lives. I know that you're here to impact lives, right? So magic.
It is magic. And you know, that message is repeated throughout every program that we've taken with Mike. And Tanya and we are pretty experienced lifelong learners. When we hit up with Mike Dooley, something shifted in a really deep and epic way, in ways that I didn't even know existed. I thought I'd been there, done that, kind of knew, you know, how everything goes. Well, and in this process, I'm also reminded that the idea here is to be in the flow, is to stop trying to contort. And we had a small group when our soul spa in the morning, we talked about this the other day, you know, trying to contort ourselves to fit into boxes that we don't belong. I feel like most of my life I've tried to fit myself into something that doesn't fit instead of trusting the universe. Hey, universe, you know what? What really, really makes my heart sing is bringing some soulful connection, spreading some love, amplifying love on the planet, raising the vibration of humanity, believing that people are good, and knowing that we all have this birthright of incredible abundance and everything that you want, you already are. I know all of these things at that level. And so when I'm feeling, I've been telling myself this story that when I'm feeling sad or scared about my situation, because that's the human part of me showing up, I'm feeling like I'm kind of resisting the universe has said, this, you told me what you want, and now you're like, you're scared, you're not trusting me. I'm getting some mixed vibrations going on here, and I'm worried, and that doubles that worried vibration that now I'm telling the universe I don't want that. Who
Mhm,
here can relate? Because it's this silly little, and you know what's this? It's this.
mhm,
This is what is going on here. And when I remember to take in a few deep breaths and just drop into my heart, like my cousin Michelle says, in this moment, I am good.
mhm.
There's nothing I need to do in this moment. I'm okay,
Mhm.
right?
Truthfully, that we only have this moment. You know,
And
we spend so much of our time lamenting the past, regretting the past, or worrying about the future, and yet all that does is, like you said, vibrationally sends a message to the universe. Okay, they're not ready yet, I guess, so we're going to hold off or reconvene or what have you. And so the practice really is being in the flow.
being in the flow.
Yeah, and we did a class with a mini workshop with our favorite Mike Dooley this morning, and it was talking about being happy. Can we be happy all the time? And I mean, at first I was like, well, yes, of course, because I was feeling happy and joyous in the moment, and then Facebook went down, and I started panicking that somebody broke into my account, and I wasn't feeling very happy. I'll have to tell you, along with apparently tens of thousands of other people, but in the moment, I didn't know that. So that panic that ensued, right? And I mean, that's a frivolous thing technically, but it was the panic of, I've done something wrong. I can't figure it out. I don't know how to do this. And
I
joy,
look stupid,
joy
you
was
know,
not present, right? So, however, in finding out that it was down across the world globally, certainly made me feel a little bit less ridiculous in the attempts that I kept making. And I was able to return to joy. But how do we process the actual emotion that's going on for us? Sadness, anger, fear, whatever, resentment, whatever that is, right? By going through it. There
that's
is
right.
no other way. We can avoid the feeling of it for as long as possible, and that feeling will remain there until we're ready to process it. So the
Yeah.
only way through something is to go through it.
And you feel and let it, like, just really let it in. And this is what I've been learning. So honoring that sadness, that scared, that version of me that was always told this story that things need to look this way, you have to do this in order for this and this to happen. So I've been living in this like comfort zone that's been fabricated by the world around me, literally.
Mhm,
Right? My parents told me this. My school told me this. My social circle told me this. The news told me this. There's this story, this box
mhm,
that I've been contorting into. And it doesn't feel really good. And so it's very normal that I would experience some sense of anxiety and lack of control as I'm learning and like trailblazing a new path for myself. And my friend T here is on a very similar path. We're doing same things, same, different. But the essence of our learning is as deeply profound and layers and generations deep.
Mhm.
So I wanted to come on live today or record this because my heart is so full
Mhm.
right where I am, and it is uncomfortable.
Mhm.
But I know, just like I can imagine that cocoon that happens just before the butterfly breaks through. We're coming into spring, folks. I'm so excited. I'm so excited you're on this journey with me, and I look forward to continue to share and show you my heart. T, is there anything you'd like to say in closing?
Yeah, you know what? That there's so many metaphors about a butterfly, right? But a story that I heard years ago now was, someone was watching the butterfly struggle to come out of that chrysalis after a long period of dormancy, right? The stillness that we need to go internal in order
During
to,
winter,
right,
normally.
right.
Yeah.
And so they saw the struggle and cut the chrysalis so that the
Mm.
butterfly would be easier to get out of the chrysalis. The problem and issue is that it's actually part of the process of going through the struggle. Going through the struggle is actually what creates the fluid that turns that in from a caterpillar into a butterfly. And so it actually died because this intended person wanted to help it. And the unfortunate part is that in order to do that, sometimes it's going to be struggly. Sometimes we're going to have to struggle
Yeah.
and remember our greatness, right? Back to you're a really big deal. We
You
say
are.
that often
We
around
do. We
here.
love
We're
you.
going to keep holding on to
It should
it.
be dedicated like every episode and every meeting, everything to you always and forever. Stacy Sadler Clark, you are a very big deal.
Yeah.
We
And
are so
she's in Canada. Did you know that? I didn't know that. She's in Toronto. Like we need to go and visit her,
oh my
right? Because
gosh.
she's a really big deal. But
Oh my
the
gosh.
gift that was
Oh my
given
gosh.
in that and the gift that continues to spread from our hearts to others
We had
is
another on our YouTube
astounding.
channel today. T, did you see the
No,
comment from a
no,
Diana? She
no.
commented on how much our soul spa in the morning means to her. And the "you're a really big deal" thing was something that she really has been running with. And her wings are about to freaking go. It's so exciting. Please join us for Soul Spa in the morning every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.
You know what? If you're not comfortable joining with your camera on, that's okay. You don't even have to say anything. We just love to have you out just so you can get a sense of what we are, who we are, what we're offering, what you have to gain by it, you know?
And what's possible when we're in community together, right? So, what a beautiful experience this has been. Thank you for just hit record and for me listening.
Thank you.
That's the beautiful thing. And for all of our listeners who listen but don't comment, because we know you're out there, we hear through the
We know you're
grapevine. Well, I
listening.
listen to all your podcasts. I'm like, well, you're never interacting, so I don't know this stuff. So,
Subscribe.
yes, exactly. Subscribe and comment. Interact with us. We want to talk to you. So come and chat
Hey,
with us. Come and
and
visit
if
us.
you want to be a guest on our show, like if you want to record with us, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
talk.
do it. Let's get infinite, my friend. So good.
Okay.
Love to all.
Ciao.
Take care. See you next time.